Hi everyone, welcome to Wendy Speaks. I am your host D. First, let me just say thank you. Thank you for taking out time of your day, to be here. I know life is busy, you've got things to do, but somehow you've decided to spend some time listening to me talk today. And this means a lot to me, and I just want to say thank you. Wendy Speaks is a space for real conversations. We're going to be talking about adulthood, the parts that nobody really prepares you for. We'll be talking about work, relationship, personal growth, resilience, and how to actually build a life that makes sense instead of just reacting to whatever is happening around you. We're not going to be stating theories or trying to prove points. We are not here for motivation, even that does sound good, but it doesn't really work. We're here because life is real and it is hard, and you need someone to actually talk about it honestly. So, if you're still figuring things out, if you're still finding your footing, if you're still struggling, even if you're winning and you want to win better, then the space is for you. If you hear what resonates with you, do me a favor, like, share, follow, comment, and share it with someone that you love. Send it to that friend who needs to hear this. Post it in your group chats. You know, let's just grow together. Now let's dive into today's episode. Hello, welcome back to Wendy Speaks. On our last episode, we spoke about time and how to take your time seriously. Alright, so I want you to think about something for a second. If you weren't on the road walking, if you weren't on the road that you're walking on right now, if you weren't, in that car commuting to where you are going to right now, or if you weren't seated at work listening to this podcast right now, this at this exact moment, do you really think that road will exist? Do you really think your job will exist? You really think that car that you're supposedly supposed to be in would exist? Obviously it would, right? The road will be there, the cars will still be passing, the people will still be walking, everything will still happening. It's just that you are not just part of it. So what does that mean? It means that time isn't waiting for you. It means time is moving, whether you are moving with it or not. This means that time is constant and you are the one actually moving through it. That realization is crazy. I was taking a walk and that is when it hit me that time is constant and we are the ones that are actually moving through it. And that changes how I see everything. Today, we're going to be getting real philosophical. We're going to be talking about time, what it actually is, what is the most valuable thing, why it is the most valuable thing that you have, and why you have to spend it, like it matters. Alright, so I was taking a walk a few weeks ago, just thinking, trying to clear my head, and this thought hit me out of nowhere. I was like, if I wasn't on this road right now, will the road be different? Will time move differently? And obviously the answer was no. That road would be exactly the same. The world would move on. Everything would continue, right? And that thought was actually kind of very humbling, Like, I'm not the center of the universe, time doesn't revolve around me, I'm just a person moving through time like everyone else. And then I thought about it deeper and I realized something. If time is constant, then I'm the one that is moving through it. Then time isn't something that I have, time is something that I am. I am a being moving through time. And every minute I exist, I am spending time. That means I am living. And when my time is up, when I die, that's it. Time over for me. My window closes. So the question becomes, what did I do with the time that I had? And that question hits differently, like I started thinking about my entire life differently. I started thinking about how I spend my time, what I dedicate my hours to, what I'm actually building with the years I have. And I was like, wow, we have been wasting so much time. We've been sitting here doing nothing, scrolling, complaining, waiting for something to happen. And meanwhile, time is is moving, which means my life is passing. It's like once you realize that time isn't infinite, right? The way you think that your life isn't infinite, suddenly everything changes and becomes, more urgent. Suddenly, what you do with your time or your life actually matters. So let me break it down to what I think about, time. First, time is the most honest measure of life. Money can come and go, looks fade away, status shifts, but time is constant. Time is what you actually spend and you can't get it back. The Bible talks about this. It says time is a precious gift from God, and you need to be a good steward of it. You need to use it wisely, and you need to have purpose in how you spend it. And I'm not even necessarily talking about, the religious aspects. I'm talking about basic principles. You have a certain amount of time on this earth, and how you spend it is literally the only thing that matters. Secondly, most people treat time like it's infinite, right? They act like they can have forever, like they can waste today and catch up tomorrow, like they can spend years doing nothing and still have time to do something meaningful later. But in reality, that's not how it actually works. Time is finite. Your years are limited, and every year you waste, right, is a year that you can never go back to. Third, 240 hours can change your entire life, right? We talked about this in an earlier episode. If you dedicate 20 hours every week for 3 months, that's roughly a total of 240 hours of focused work. 240 hours. That's not really so much time if you think about it in the grand scheme of things, but 240 hours on one thing, that decision can actually, transform your life. It can change your situation. Think about it. Your entire life could change in 3 months if you are willing to use 20 hours a week. But most people aren't. Most people would rather scroll social media for 20 hours than invest in themselves. And then they wonder why nothing really changes in their life. Fourth, the scarcity of time is what makes it valuable. Right? I think I saw this in a book that I read. If you had infinite time, then time would really be worthless. You could do everything that you want to do eventually, but you don't have infinite time. You have a limited amount, and that scarcity is what makes, every minute actually count. It's like this. If water was infinite, water would be worthless. But because water is scarce in certain places, it becomes incredibly valuable and even very expensive in some places. That is how time works. Your time is valuable because you don't have an infinite amount of it. And fifth, what you do with your time is literally your legacy. When you are gone, when your money is gone, when all your stuff that you've built is gone, your status will remain, it means nothing at the end of the day. But the impact you had on people, the work you did, the life you live, that would be your legacy. That is what you leave behind. And that is determined entirely by how you spend your time every day that you have it. Okay, so if time is so important, how do you actually start being more conscious about it? First, stop waiting. Stop waiting for the perfect time. Stop waiting until you are free. Until you feel ready. Stop waiting until conditions are perfect, because they never will be. So start now. Start today. Start with what you have. Every day you wait is a day that could have been used productively. Second, be conscious of how you're spending your time. Before you do something, ask yourself, is this really worth my time? Is this moving me forward to what matters, or am I just distracting myself? Be honest with yourself. Most of what we do isn't really worth our time. We just do it to avoid thinking about what we actually need to do. Third, Prioritize ruthlessly. You can't do everything, so you have to choose what matters most, what's going to have the biggest impact on your life, and you have to focus on that. Everything else is just noise. Fourth, protect your time because it's the most valuable possession you have. Because it is. Right? Don't let people waste your time. Don't let apps waste your time. Don't let yourself waste your time on things that don't really matter. Your time is your life, so treat it that way. Right? Time is constant and we are just moving through it. And one day our time would be up. So we need to make sure that when that day comes, we actually, can look back and say, I actually lived and I actually built something and I actually mattered. That's when D speaks today. I'll catch you on our next episode. Thank you for tuning in. Bye for now.